Hey everyone. Please, I hope y'all can hear me this time. I've been speaking this whole time and I'm not sure whether or not you can hear me. I hope you can this time. I think I'm good here. I don't think my microphone was up at the time. So I hope that you can hear me now. Okay, so yes, I see. Yeah, my mic is on. Okay. Yeah, so as I was saying to you guys, um before I found out that y'all couldn't hear me all that time, I was give you my experience on 45 hours with the babe. That's I just came from Chicago. I was here for a few hours actually. I came home because I would have been home sooner, but it took me forever. It took luggage claim forever to retrieve my suitcase. So, and then I lost my phone, and I'm gonna get to that in a moment because I'm upset about that. I really hope you guys can hear me. Okay. Yeah, so I just came back. I got there Friday, settled in. I got there around um 11 a.m. I like to make the most out of this trip because it was only for the weekend, so I wanted to make the most out of it. So to kill time, Demita and I met at the mall. Shout out to Demita. Thank you so much for looking out for me this weekend and allowing me to share space with you. I'm at the Semester Snippy Suites. That's a pretty decent space. I had a little kitchenette, the desk space, and then bathroom was pretty nice, decent place. It's a decent place to if you want to stay for like 2 or 3 days. Like that for a short stay, it was pretty decent. Um, but we went up at the Rosemont Mall. I actually took the train there to be able to meet me there because she came later on, in the afternoon. So we met there. Everything. He was. She's cool. Her energy level. Round the way. That's all I gotta say is round the way. So, we walked around there. Demeter, she got a couple of things, and we just walking around the mall. It was really nice. It was like 2 stories. And then we, went back to chill. Kind of refresh a little bit, and so we could prepare to meet up with the babe at this place called The View. It's a nice spot. Had the DJ there playing the music and I had some pasta. It was okay, but it was just kind of salty for me. And then Vi had bought a round of like different type of um appetizing foods for the group. Like catfish and fries, wings, and just an assortment of things. And she also had the nice gift bags for us as well, with 45 hours with the babe, the logo, everything, hooked us up. T-shirts. We had the Babe Nation fans, the Babe Nation glasses. I mean, she really hooked us up. Really nice gifts. I bought a little something for her as well. It was like a forever flower and had like a pendant inside, and she really loved it. And you could see all of this, just so you know, you could see all of this footage on her channel, and I'm sure QB got some footage as well as some pictures. And I got both of their channels in the description box. Please make sure you subscribe to them, follow them, and make sure you get in on all of this action because I don't know if you're going to see any of my action that I got caught footage of on my phone because I don't have my phone. I lost it, and I don't lose phones. That's just weird to me. I'm really upset by that because I normally don't do that. Like, I don't just leave my phone around or just I mean, I might forget it, but I'm just not one to lose my phone. But yeah, I'll get to that. It's just upsetting to me. But yeah, um, we had a good time. The rooftop patio area was really nice. We chilled there for a little while, came back, enjoyed some karaoke. We enjoyed some good music. It was a good mixture of people. So it was really nice. Had a good time, and so we got back to the rooms. We was up pretty late. It was pretty late. Um, and we still had to get up the next day. We had met up for a boat ride, to tour Chicago to look at the different landmarks, architecture, and the tour guide just trying to do his job. But of course, Babe Nation was acting all loud and ignorant. you know, just acting a fool on that boat. I was like, if y'all don't be quiet, because I mean, it was like a boat full of people, and he was, but he was still able to continue doing what he was doing, but they was just, we was just, cutting up. So, but they like, the people on the boat really like their energy. They like what they was given. Even the tour guide afterwards, we was giving them tips and stuff like that. And I was like, look, you owe this man an apology. He's trying to do his job by giving us a tour, and here y'all go, just acting the fool, But it was only fun. I was only joking, But it was cool, to have that experience. And then we went to the this vegan Jamaican fest. Um, had like different types of vegan vendors, and then they have the Jamaican food. And I had it was a vendor that was selling different type of juices like lemonade, watermelon, pineapple, cucumber, and hiskibus. I think that's how you pronounce it. Hispis. Help me out here. I never knew how to pronounce that. But I had a mixture of cucumber, watermelon, and pineapple. It was really good, really, really good, and very filling. So I just kind of took like a couple of Demita's fries. She had some fries with some jerk wings. Five Babe has some wings, and there was different people. Have different things like Tweety and Number One Caller. They shared like a oxtail cupcake type of thing. So there was a variety of different foods that were purchased. But shout out to everyone that was there. Shout out the to our group. There was Number One Caller, Demita, myself. There was Shy Town Demon, who is just oh yeah, she is that girl. Like she is just a whole vibe. I mean, just carefree, just being Chi-Town Demon. I should say that. It was also another person that was a follower, but she was more in the bushes. She goes by Abuela. Um, and her husband's name is Poppy. So that Abuela and Poppy, shout out to them. They're an older couple that came through. She's been a fan of Fabe for some time now, and she decided to come through. It was also I don't want to miss anybody. Tweety, um, of course, QB, and QB is so sweet. I know that people you know may not see a film in the beef sector or see it for five, but they both were sweet and very hospitable. I gotta say that they were, you know. And we had a really good time. And then once we came out the park. Oh, also before I get to that, we also got the opportunity to meet Fi's mom and her daughter. Really nice. Of course, Leah wanted to act shy, which is understandable because she didn't really know us like that. But we met them, and then we went to went back, to get ourselves together for the party bus, you know. So it was lit at that party bus. Those of you who have been on Fives Live that last night and that party bus, you understand what it was given. It was given. So we got ready, because again, like I thought that we were all gonna wear red. It was only a few of us that wore red, but a lot of them, a lot of people in the group didn't wear red, including Fi. I was surprised that she, as I expected more red, so we could kind of coordinate a little bit more. But that's either here or there. So Demedia and I, we was the two that was wearing the red, and I got so many compliments of my look. I appreciate that. Um, but it was also like I just going to be honest with you. I was a little bit rightfully so in my feelings because there was some miscommunication that went on that led up to some people getting frustrated, and the frustration was taken out on me. And I felt like my feelings were being dismissed at the moment. So sometimes when I have those moments, I tend to shut down a little bit, but not to the point where I'm trying to be a Debbie Downer because I didn't want it to ruin it for anyone and ruin the vibe, ruin it, having a good time. But I feel like no matter what type of setting you're in, if you're human, if you feel certain things or you feel some kind of way about something, you have the right to feel that kind of way regardless. I'm not one to just hold it all in. But like I said, but I still was able to maintain my composure. But I mean, QB, even since there was something, off about me at that moment. So he was really nice. He took the time to talk to me and say, don't let this get to you, just have here, have a good time. Let's get it going. And I understood that, but I was still at that moment, I was just like, you know, and I mean, I wouldn't have gotten, I would have came around eventually, but at that moment it was some miscommunication and that occurred. And I don't want to get into it because fences were mended. There was some amends that had been made, so I didn't want to get into the details about it. But once the amends was made, I felt better about it, and so I was able to move forward in a different manner. So that was cool. So that party bus, it was it was late. Like I said, please make sure that you go on Fire Babes channel. Um, her channel name is Babe Nation, and then it's me QB. Like I said, their links are in the description box. She kept the lives going the whole time, during our events. So you will see how much lit it was, how lit it was. But I was chilling. We went to different stops. I think one of the first stops we made was it was supposed to be some fireworks, but I don't know. I don't know what happened to where that didn't happen, but we still walked around. There was this beautiful fountain, and it was, it lit up at night. It was nighttime, so it lit up, and it was so beautiful. So you'll be able to see that, as well in those videos. Um, we chilled, and then we went to a couple of other stops. We went Lincoln Park. We went over by Wrigley Field, and we just kind of took pictures and just walked around and enjoyed the sights and just yeah. And then I was given an edible for the first time. Never in my life had it. I considered because I always want to make sure that if I decided to try a gummy or any type of edible, I wanted to make sure that it was more infused with more natural herbs. Like I wanted to make sure that I had it from the right source. But they I was offered an edible and I was told afterwards, like Demeter told me that she normally like savors it, like she sucks it, like she doesn't chew it up. Because I chew some of it. I chew most of it. I chew most of it, but I spit some of it out, but I still chewed it. But I'm like, okay, so and I'm trust me, like I'm so new to this whole edible thing. So I'm like, okay, so okay, I chew some okay, I had this edible, so I'm asking QB and Demeter, like, what's supposed to happen after? I'm like, what happens after? So it said it's supposed to relax you. And so it takes like 20 or 30 minutes to relax you. I said, oh, relax me. You okay? We supposed to be lit up in this party bus. And you want to relax me? You want to relax me? But yeah, but anyway, I had it and it left a bad aftertaste because it said it's maybe because of the THC and you know the effects of that. And I don't know how many milligrams were in it. I don't know, but I know after a while I was so out of it. I was sitting there like, and I had to do a little walking, try to get some air, and I was just like, but can I do this, that, and the other? Like my voice changed and I was just out of it by the time they was still partying up, blasting the music, and I was in the corner just like out of it. Like I was just so out of it. I tried so hard to fight it. My eyes were so heavy, I could barely keep them open. And I'm like, is this supposed to happen? Um, how long is this effect supposed to happen? And can y'all please help me out in the chat or in the comments of the effects of it? Because like I said, I was out of it, trying to keep my eyes open. I I mean, I think I saw Demeter and them laughing at me. I could not. So when we got off the bus, we had, Demeter had gotten us an Uber, but during the time they was waiting for that Uber, I could not keep my eyes open, like and it was kinda strange because, I mean, I could it was hard for me to see, like, my vision was kinda off. I mean, maybe because sometimes when you fall asleep with, with contacts on, it tends to dry up a little bit, and maybe that's what it was, but my eyes were very irritating. I was still, like, out of it, like, my head was aching a little bit. So, I once I got into the room, I was able to get myself together. I was able to refresh. I was able to do all those things. And so once I laid down, you know, and got into sleep mode, by the next morning I was much better. I felt much better. Now, would I try this edible again? I don't know. I'm leaning towards the doubtful side of the whole edible experience. I'm leaning towards the doubtful side. But I mean, I got to experience it though, right? I got to try it. So that's one of the things I always wanted to do. But yeah, but anyway, but for the most part, the whole day this Saturday alone was just it was full, like a whole full day for us. I mean, we got back late and then we had to get up again. We had to get up again this morning. Well, yesterday morning because, it's like 3:13 AM right now, my time. So, well, technically yesterday morning we got up again. I think we started getting ready at about 8:30ish. We started getting ready because we had to meet up for brunch. But before that, we was chilling. Demeter and I we were talking, just chilling, watching some videos. I was able to catch my Sunday service virtually because I know I couldn't make it there. So I was able to catch it virtually. And speaking of that, please make sure you look out for my interview with my pastor this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m. Please make sure you look out for that. I want y'all to be in the building. Join me live for that. Um, yeah, so we got ready for brunch and so we met up. Um, and it was nice. I mean, it was this place called Recess. It was very colorful. It was like a a game room type of vibe as well because they had the giant size type of games, your Jenga, Connect Four, like it was like kind of like a space for gaming as well. But it was I had like the stuffed French toast, which was a lot of bread. It was like a real thick, you know, piece of bread. Some people got steak and eggs, some people got just variety, avocado toast and stuff like that. We were vibing, taking pictures, and just having that time again before all of us had to kind of go our separate ways, go to the airport and all that good stuff. But I just, really want to commend 5A for a job well done in planning this um and just like I said, being real hospitable, just showing us a great time. Chicago was a great experience because I always wanted to go to Chicago, so it was a great experience, and it was much warmer than expected. It was like 80 in the 80s, and even 5 they say usually around this time is like in the 60s or 70s, but it worked for us. I think God designed it that way, right? Because I guess He knew what we were doing, what we was trying to do, so it worked out. It was very warm. Um, it was a great experience. I'm really glad I was able to make it. I was glad I was able to meet some of the people that I met. I mean, we got forged a bond. Oh, by the way, going back to the party bus, I forgot to mention that Fi's niece was there as well with her boyfriend, and they actually got engaged. When you hear Fi in a lie, my niece just got engaged, and at first I thought it was a prank. I thought it was like they was just being funny, but no, they got engaged because you saw her boyfriend got on one knee and all that. Because I thought they was only playing around because I thought it could have been more romantic than that. If you're doing a proposal, but hey, it is what it is. Congratulations to them. Um, and her brothers were there, Butterhair and her brother. I think his name is David, I believe. Please don't quote me, but I think his name was David. But um, so it was quite a few people that came through on at certain times, and so but going back to Sunday, Tweety, Demita, and I shared a Uber to the airport because we all were kind of come going at the same time. Our flights were kind of around the same time, but they would flew one airline, I flew another, and I was under the impression that I was. I know, like, even though we had separate terminals, this is where it went downhill for me a little, because I'm thinking that, okay, I'm gonna get off here because I'm trying to be cheap, honestly. Because we took so many Uber rides to this place and that place, Demeter and I, we split it, but it still added up. And I was honestly under the impression that we was gonna be provided with transportation from, to these in between activities. I really because we were promised that, but but I'm just saying, we were promised like transportation from certain places, so we don't have to spend so much on Uber rides because that adds up. So we've said that next time we're gonna have to kind of come contribute towards getting a rental car next time. That's much cheaper. But anyway, I was trying to be as cheap as possible. So when we got to the terminals, Demita and Tweety, they went to their airline. I'm thinking that even though I had to go to another terminal, I thought it was close by, but no, it wasn't. So I was really trying to get another Uber because what happened was the original Uber ride that we had, I ch- I didn't know whether or not he was going to actually drive me there. I was going to ask him for a favor to drive me to the terminal, but I didn't want to impose that. And plus I had to pay like 13 extra dollars. And I'm like, wow, well, how far is it from this terminal to from this airline to that airline? Like, how far is it? But yeah, so I ended up having to try to get an Uber, and it was so busy that I had to, I wasn't able to get a ride, but I took the risk. I was able to get a ride finally. I had to pay them 10 I ended up having to pay $10 to them anyway, just for them to get me from one terminal to the terminal I was supposed to go to. I made it there, and I'm rushing out just to make sure that I had to make sure that I had the time to check in my bag and all that good stuff. And then lo and behold, when I go to check in my bag, my phone is missing. I don't have my phone. Where the hell is my phone? I left it in the car. So my phone is in Chicago somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pissed at myself for that because I know, like I said, I don't just leave my phone. I know sometimes things happen and but my phone is something that I just don't part with. I don't really That's not something I do. So the fact that I lose it at that time of all times when at least I was traveling home, but still the fact that I, was trying to make sure that I made it in time to check in and do the whole clearance, TSA clearance. I left my phone in the car. My phone. All my So I don't know whether or not I'm able to get access to, because I know like different apps, different accounts I'm able to still retrieve, but I'm talking about as far as my pictures and videos, certain things that I took over the weekend. I don't know if I'm able to retrieve that, because I didn't get to save it or anything. I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, that happened. That would happen to me. But, but I made it. I was able to get to my flight. Um, the flight was smooth. Each way was smooth. And for me, and I actually had used Frontier as my airline. So believe it or not, there was no ratchetness going on. Nobody really acted fool. Both both ways, were straight there, straight back, no problems at all. Thank you, Jesus. But then when I got back to Atlanta, like I said, baggage claim took forever um, to bring up. But I'm just thank God that I was able to retrieve my suitcase, but it took a minute because usually, when I go to baggage claim, I don't really have that experience, but I always prefer carry on. But I was offered the opportunity to check in my bag for free because sometimes the overhead bins are full. But yeah, but a lot of people are pissed off because a lot of people, it was an issue with the ramp, and everything, so a lot of people was waiting hours for their bags, but I ended up not even getting home. I got home to, like, what, 12 o'clock, and then I come back, and then, I'm having issues with my accounts because what I do is when I travel for a number of days, I like to like unplug stuff to save power, and um I turn my power strip off. So when I turned it back on to get back into my computers, I didn't think that I had to, you know, start over. Like I know there's sometimes you have to do multiple steps of verification, but I can't even do anything. Honestly, I can't even retrieve certain things at this point because I don't have my phone with me. So a lot of times when they ask for a code or ask for a one-time pass key or something like that, they send it to your phone. They text it to you. And so it's like I don't have my phone, and I do have another phone, but it's it doesn't have the same type of information or same type of features that as my original phone. But I'm gonna work it out. Like I said, I thank God I took today off, which is Monday. I took Monday off, so I'll be able to take care of this whole phone thing. I gotta go to the Xfinity store and work this whole thing out because I'm really upset about my phone. I really am. I really am. But I'm still here through it all. I made it through another day's journey. God kept me here. So yeah, but yeah. But other than that experience, God brought me home. Thank God for his traveling mercies. I just wanted to make sure that I come before you before I unpack, because I'm still gonna unpack. I'm not one of those people that just throw their suitcase to the side and just forget about it. No, I prefer to just do everything right there and then, do what I have to do, shower, rest my bunion. Yes, yeah, my bunion hurting. My bunion's been been bothering me lately. I know you ain't asked for those details, but I'm giving it to you anyway. My bunion is killing me. Like if you watch I'ma Get You Sucker and that dude with that throbbing big toe, yeah, that's my bunion right now, yeah. So I gotta rest that too. And plus, like I said, I wanna make sure that I have, enough hours of sleep so I can go take care of this phone issue, which I did not plan to do, but I do need to work this whole phone thing out. So please bear with me. But I just wanted to, like I said, I just wanted to give you my feedback on 45 hours with the babe. I hope that you enjoy it. I know there's gonna be some haters out there that's gonna, they're gonna, roast and gag, especially that's what they do in the beef sector. That's to be expected. If there's an op out there, you know, they're gonna have something to say. But for the most part, I really commend Fi Babe for giving us a great experience. I really do appreciate that. So, and this is our first time, this is our first meet and greet. So the second one, third one, whatever, it'll just get better from there, you know? I just think about it that way. Hopefully, I'm able to, be a part of that experience as well. But thank you so much for even, taking the time to listen. Like I said, I didn't really plan on going live, but again, I wanted to do a upload, but, it is what it is. As long as I'm able to come to you, either way is fine. It's cool. If I'm still able to interact with you guys and engage with you guys, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Please do. And please make sure, like I said, please, if you haven't done so already, please make sure that you catch some of the replay, catch some of the footage of our experience. It's a few hours, because like I said, Fi just kept her tablet going. She just kept it on live. So you may want to like bypass, like fast forward certain times where it was, like some pauses in between, or times where she had to leave to go someplace else. You could just kind of fast forward through that. But for the most part, please make sure you check out those videos, and check out this one, to get my personal experience. Okay. But I thank you so much for, like I said, taking the time to hear me out. As I wanted to at least do something. I wanted to say something about it before I went to bed. So thank you so much again. And in the meantime,